Hey guys, it's a beautiful day here at the SQH and I thought I'd jump on and do a little update. It finally has stopped raining for now. It's supposed to come back and rain again this afternoon, but maybe only half an inch. And we've been having tons and tons of rain. It rained 5 inches on Friday. So over the rain, but the upside is everything's growing because it's got plenty of water. So we'll go around, do a little update, show you what's going on. Today I'm going to be transplanting my hydrangea plant here in this bucket into some compost. Now I have struggled with this compost since I got chickens. I could not get it to heat up at first, and then it would get hot and then it'd cool back down. So it's just been a pain, and you can tell it's really not quite dirt yet. But I did get a nice pretty hydrangea for Easter that I transplanted into some of this compost, and it's just doing fantastic. So these ones haven't done so great. I think they're probably a bit root bound, plus the fact that that soil probably doesn't have all the nutrients that they need. So I'm going to transplant them into a couple pots and see how they do. I'm not really invested in this hydrangea. It's just some starts that I got from somebody, so if it fails, well, no big deal. And I'm going to put it over in front of the pump house. If you've been here, you know that this beautiful swing set, as well as that workout equipment, came with the property. So, you know, swing set's really not necessary. My kids are way too big, but it's fine, I guess, for when nieces and nephews come over. I don't know, probably get rid of it at some point. But and then the exercise machine there, I might try to see if we can get that to work, because that would be great for our 13-year-old boy. Anyway, the hydrangea is going to go here in front of the well house, which, yes, I know it needs a coat of paint. It's on the to-do list, just haven't got there. But I'm going to put them on the ground there and there, just kind of spruce it up. It will get some morning sun, but it'll be shaded in the afternoon, so I think they'll do well. That's assuming that my chickens don't eat them, because the hydrangea that I got on Easter, they were eating it, so we'll see. I'll let you know how it goes. This little barred rock loves to help me with any gardening project. She's not real friendly. She doesn't want me to hold her, but every time I start to do a project, she pops in and comes to scratch and dig and eat all the worms. So I usually flip the worms to her as I'm working in the garden and I come across them, but I have a feeling that these hydrangea aren't going to do so good, just based on how it's starting out. So we'll see. So this is my hydrangea that I planted in my compost at Easter. Look at that. Just doing so great. You can see where the chickens were having a snack. So, and then over here, those are the new ones. So I went ahead and put them in 2 different pots because I have a sneaking suspicion that they will not stay there. So I will probably put one in the front and one in the back. So, but we'll see. Maybe the girls will leave them alone. Doubt it. So I wanted to do a little chicklet update. They are 6 weeks old and just doing great. Mama decided that she was sleeping in the big bird coop a few days ago, so they're kind of on their own. They're still sleeping in the playpen, mainly because, I don't know, I'm not sure if they're quite ready to sleep with the big birds, but they'd probably do fine. They have been free ranging all day long with all the adult birds, and they do great. Nobody really picks on them, and they all stay together. But Mama has, she's done. She's quit hanging out with them during the day and quit sleeping with them at night. So they're just thriving. All 9 are still here and doing great. You see little Cornholio there in the front. He's doing great, or she. So yeah, they're just really happy birds. I don't know, maybe I can kind of tell you this red one right there. That is Dixie Chick. Or no, it's not. That's Lindsay Lohan. And this one's Dixie Chick. This one's part Buttercup, which is a rare bird. Cornholio, of course. That there is Nugget right there. So some of them, when we named them, they looked a lot different. Now that they've got their big bird feathers, they're looking like different birds. So this one here is Darth Feather. The two black ones in the back are Anakin Skywalker and Princess Leia. And then this black and white one here is Cluck Norris. So I think I got everyone. Seems like there's one more, but yeah, they're just doing great. Getting big, growing, and they're foraging and just holding their own with all the big birds. So I'm gonna let them out and let them go start their day. And away they go, off to explore the homestead. And it's cute, they all really stick together. They have each other, so that's pretty cool. Just growing up. My babies are getting big. Chick, 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 chick. And they're finally associating me with food, so they'll come to me when I call them. That's been one thing I've noticed, that since I was pretty hands-off raising them and Mama Hen took care of them, they are not super tame at all. And they don't tend to come to me when I call, but they're finally starting to associate me with food, so they'll come to me. They don't want me to pick them up though. Aren't they so cute? I think everybody should have baby chicks at some point in their life. I've really enjoyed them. So our last update for today is going to be about the garden. And so I really believe that when you start a small farm or homestead, the first few years are definitely just about learning about the soil and about your environment. And the garden has definitely been teaching me quite a few things. So in January, when my husband finished tilling the sheep manure into the garden, I just couldn't wait to get seeds started. And everyone I talked to said, "Are you crazy? You know, it's just, you can't start seeds in January, nothing's gonna grow." And, you know, for the most part, they were right. But I'm kind of impatient. And so I had to do it anyway. I found that radishes grow well if you plant them in January in Northern California. So does lettuce. And then peas, which you probably can't see very well. Basically nothing else grew well. But, you know, I don't feel like it was a waste of time because I love being in the garden. So, you know, time well spent. You might wonder, well, why on earth did you fence off just the center of the garden? Well, that's because that's how much fencing we had on the property. And we didn't want the birds to get in there. And so my husband just ran some fence for me around the garden so I could plant stuff. And he also dug me furrows through here. And I think that's a really great idea because we have clay soil and the whole garden is on a slope. And so these have helped to keep everything from drowning. I'll show you a spot where we're going to put our tomatoes in a little bit, and it's just underwater. So I also learned that 4 bales of straw is not even close to enough to cover this garden. I'm thinking we're going to need at least 4 or 5 more. I still would really like to have wood chips, but so far I haven't gotten any. I had my husband make me a little cover to start some seeds, and I tried starting them in egg cartons, as I have a ton of them because of all my eggs. People give me cartons. It's kind of a terrible idea. Nothing really started. It dries out super, super fast. So yeah, learned on that one. Now every window in my downstairs in my house is lined with solo cups. So we'll come up here. So in the summertime, or in a few months, this whole area is going to be like squash and cucumbers. I'm going to have my husband run a piece of fence here for cucumbers to climb. Back behind, of course, since I am impatient, I've already tried to start tomatoes, which was an epic fail. I've noticed that this particular area of the garden just really holds water. It's awful. Here it is Wednesday. Hasn't rained since Friday, maybe Saturday, and it's still just puddles. These little holes here, that's my failed attempt to kind of dig it out so it has a place to drain off. So my husband's going to run furrows for my tomatoes also, and I have some ideas with some PVC to use to stake it. So we'll show you that another day. Back here I've planted sunflowers here, these rows, and then behind it is corn. The corns are all popping up. Very few sunflowers have popped up.
The blackberries are back. We spent so many hours ripping blackberries out, and they just, gosh, they're hard to get rid of. So I'm gonna have to go back through, dig those out. On the sunflowers, between my chickens and all the birds that are just wild here, they really didn't do very well. So I'm gonna plant some more of those today. We got some fencing for the birds, and I did put it up around their coop when we first got it up here, and they were miserable. They would just pace back and forth against the fence. They hated it. My egg production dropped to 3 eggs per day, which I don't know if that was related to the fence or the weather, but anyway, just decided to run the fence around the garden, and the birds get to free range and they're happy. So they do, you know, poop is still an issue, and they dig up my flowers, but it's whatever, it's a trade. Over here's the potato patch. Got some potatoes popping up, some russets, some Yukon Gold, and some red potatoes, and then below that is the garlic. And then on the back side of, well, the front side, I guess, of the winter garden is going to be my pepper patch. So as you can see, because the straw was not enough, I didn't put enough in, so much grass and weeds have come up. We do have little, let's see, obviously the lettuce. We've got little cauliflowers coming up through here, and some cabbage, but it hasn't really started coming up. I've got some starts of that inside. Nothing in the onion department. And then I've got some broccolis that are coming up as well. So I'm going to go through here today and pull out all these weeds, and I'm going to replant some more radishes because we've eaten most of them. I'm going to direct sow some carrots, and I'm going to go back and plant some more sunflowers now that I've got the fencing up. Maybe the birds will stay out of them. So I don't know if you noticed the cardboard back there, but that is my attempt to keep the blackberries at bay once I get wood chips. So I've just been kind of collecting cardboard as I order stuff and putting it back there, and then when I do get wood chips, I'm going to pile it on top, and maybe the blackberries will not pop up here. We love blackberries, but we have them everywhere on the property, and I don't want them in my garden. So anyway,
that's the update, you guys. We'll see you later.